Hello viewers, if you are just joining us, please take notes. We are a long way off. This is episode number 6. So if you are new here, please go back to episode number 1. If you are seeing this through the Facebook, please go to the YouTube channel JCO Tutorials. When you get there, ensure you subscribe so that you can get and put on your notification bell so that whenever there is a video, a lecture, you always get notified. Then share to your friends so that others can also get this. On the YouTube channel, we deal with the full lectures are there, so you can see them in their series. So going on now, always like whenever it blesses you, and if you wish to give us something, do well to send a notification and I will send you account details to encourage us in this work. Thank you. Number 4, I said I'm going to do it in two ways. Either I'll multiply the numbers, the brackets first, before I put in my value of A, B, and C, or I will put in my value of A, B, and C before I multiply. So let me multiply first. So I have A raised to power 3 square root of B square root of C raised to power 5 times square root of A cube roots of B raised to power 2 then C raised to power 3. Okay, so let's change these guys now. A raised to power 3 is A raised to power 3. Square root of B is B raised to power half. Square root of C raised to power 5 is simply C raised to power 5 over 2, because the square root is divided by 2. The 5 is the power numerator. There we have it, multiplied by square root of A is A raised to power half. Then cube root of B raised to power 2 is simply B raised to power 2 over 3. Then C raised to power 3. Now, like we said, we want to multiply first, after which we can now try to deal with substituting the values. So in multiplying first now, A raised to power 3 multiply A raised to power half. We said when multiplying two same terms, you are going to add their index. So A raised to power 3 plus half. Then B raised to power half plus 2 over 3. Then C raised to power 5 over 2 plus 3. So if you watch it very closely, what we just did now is the power of A here plus the power of A here, the power of B plus the power of B for this, then power of C plus the power of C for the other one. Follow along. 3 plus half is simply 3 and a half, which is 7 over 2. So I have A raised to power 7 over 2. Those ones doesn't need to be solved. Half plus 2 over 3, so this is it. Half plus 2 over 3. LCM of 2 and 3 is what? 6. 2 divided 6 is 3. 3 times 1 is 3. Plus 3 divided 6 is 2. 2 times 2 is what? 4. That gives me 7 over 6. So this is B raised to power 7 over 6. Then C raised to power 5 over 2 plus 3. 5 over 2 plus 3. 3 is also 3 over 1. LCM of 2 and 1 is 2. 2 divided 2 is 1. 1 times 5 is 5 plus 1 divided 2 is 2. 2 times 3 is 6. Gives me 11 over 2. There, 11 over 2. So having got to this point now, I can now put my values of A as 1 over 4. 1 over 4 raised to power 7 over 2. My B is 6. 6 raised to power 7 over 6. This is going to be long. Then C is 1. 1 raised to power 11 over 2. Wow, 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 wow. How do we do with this? So we said this, yeah. So I'm going to be having the sixth root of 64, which can be easily gotten. So sixth root of 64, then my answer is to power 7. then 1 raised to power 11 over 2. Okay, so let's go further. What is the square root of 1? It's 1. What's the square root of 4? It's 2. Then your answer is to power 7. What's the sixth root of 64? We're simply asking for what you multiply in 6 places to give you 64. That is 2 times 2 is 4. 4 times 2 is 8. 8 times 2 is 16. 16 times 2 is 32. 32 times 2 is 64. So that's the sixth root of 64 is 2. The answer is to power 7. Then 1 raised to power 11 over 2. 1 raised to power anything is 1. So that 1 raised to power 11 is 1. The square root of 1 is still giving you 1. So going on further, 1 raised to power 7 is what? 1 over 2 raised to power 7 is actually 2 raised to power 7. I don't want to open it yet. Then times this 2 raised to power 7 here. Then times 1, which is the same thing. So when 2 raised to power 7 by 2 raised to power 7, my final answer in this case will be 1. 1 is my final answer. Now in this method, I actually solved the algebra, the fraction, the alphabet before I substitute my numbers. Now what if I substitute my numbers first before opening up the alphabet? So let's try another step. Let's now. My A is what? 1 over 4. So I'm simply doing 1 over 4 raised to power 3. Then my B is what? 64. 64 raised to power half. Then my C is what? 1. 1 raised to power 5 over 2. So let's say I'm dealing with this before I now come to do with A, which is 1 over 4 raised to power half. Then my B is what? 64. 64 raised to power 2 over 3. Then my C is 1 raised to power 3. So let's work this out. 1 over 4 raised to power 3. 1 raised to power 3 is 1. Then 4 raised to power 3 simply is 4 times 4 times 4, which is 64. That being said, then 64 raised to power half is simply the square root of what? 64 raised to power 1. The denominator 2 simply means what? Square root. Now 1 raised to power anything is 1. The square root of 1 or any root of 1 is also 1. So that is inconsequential. Now 1 over 4 raised to power half. That's simply what? Square root of 1 over 4. Then this other side now, I have 64 raised to power 2 over 3. That is the third root of 64. My answer is to power 2. I told you the denominator is the root, then the numerator is the power. Then 1 raised to power 3 is what? 1. Now 1 over 64 times square root of 64 is 8. 8 raised to power 1 is still that 8. Then times your 1 here, which is the same thing. Then here, yeah, square root of 1 is 1, square root of 4 is 2. Now, third root of 64, what do you multiply in 3 places to give you 64? The answer is 4. Then raised to power 2 times this 1, which is the same thing. Multiply this, you have 8 over 64 times 1 over 2. 4 raised to power 2 is what? 16. 4 raised to power 2 is 16. So let's work it out now. 8 over 64, 8 here, 8 divided 8 is 1. 8 divided 64 is 8 times 2 divided 16 is 8. 1 over 8 times 8 gives you 1. That is your answer. The same thing what we got before. So I believe you are following in this algebra class. Stay tuned for our next episode.